After watching this video, I highly recommend that you watch my video supporting nuclear energy. Once you've done so, feel free to leave your opinions in the comments. Yes, science is good. Discovering new things about the world we know so much yet so little about is good. But there comes a time when we have to admit that people in the pursuit of knowledge sometimes have gone too far. Conducting unethical experiments that violate human rights like Germany did in World War II was too far. Building the atomic bomb, a nuclear weapon, may have gone too far. But there is also the argument that if we hadn't built it, more lives would have been lost due to the continuation of war, but that's besides the point. The concept of science going too far has been applicable for many different circumstances, and creating an energy source based on splitting isotopes of elements on an atomic level may have been too far. So let's talk about exactly why. Nuclear energy has been claimed to be a clean source of energy, when that is inherently not true. And this is especially true when the production of nuclear energy goes wrong, such as in Fukushima or Chernobyl. Some may argue that both of these situations were caused by mismanagement and not nuclear energy itself, but even if that is true, it's simply not worth the high risk of evacuating entire cities, hundreds of thousands of people, because the production goes wrong. But even when producing nuclear energy goes right, it is still incredibly dangerous. After producing nuclear energy, the power plants are left with something called nuclear fuel or nuclear waste, which remains highly radioactive for hundreds of years and requires safe and very expensive storage. No other energy source has to deal with such a problem. It's incredibly dangerous and disaster prone. Not only would nuclear waste storage locations be targets to terrorism, but so would nuclear power plants themselves. Perhaps the largest disadvantage of nuclear energy is that it's not renewable. It won't last. Advocates of nuclear energy claim that nuclear energy itself is the solution to climate change, when at the same time it is neither clean nor renewable. Experts in the nuclear field claim that if we continue to use uranium, which is the most common mineral used to create nuclear energy, we'll start to see uranium shortages in just about 80 years, which is near the expiration time of every other non-renewable source. Nuclear energy is nowhere near a renewable source, and it's just like the others. So why invest so much in it? Also, regarding the claim that nuclear power plants themselves emit 0 to a negligible amount of carbon dioxide. Yes, in a way, this is true, but logically thinking, if nuclear power plants use uranium in order to produce energy, how do these places get this uranium? Through mining processes, through the long transportation of this mineral, both of which produce lots of carbon dioxide. There's also the enrichment of uranium, which is toxic, as well as the waste management of used fuel. To claim that the production of nuclear energy is clean is to avoid every single process surrounding this production. There's also the economic advantage. The bare minimum price to build one nuclear power plant is $2 billion, but a lot of them go up to as much as $9 billion. If these people who claim to have a solution to climate change want to spend billions, if not trillions of dollars on nuclear energy, which isn't even renewable, how will that affect the clean and renewable energy market? With better sources like wind turbines, solar panels, geothermal energy, and more. Is spending so much money on the nuclear option worth it when we could start instead spending on the renewable market, which will ultimately last a lot longer? Because there are so many disadvantages to nuclear energy, including the economic disadvantage, the level of danger in nuclear power plants and waste, as well as the fact that this energy source isn't even clean or renewable. Nuclear energy is simply not worth it, and we should avoid it.